We're going to be doing a lot of books.
We got more books to cover, and so that's why we're so book heavy this week. We got 2 more books.
2 more books!
This is a Marvel book.
I can't read.
Because you know what? We were doing some DC there. Let's mix it up, right? So this book I have in my hands is Spider-Verse versus Venomverse, #1. Because in case you forgot, Marvel has a habit of taking a popular character like Spider-Man.
Or a concept.
Like Spider-Verse, and applying it to Venom.
Ad nauseum.
And what I love about this book is how stupid it is. And I mean that in the night.
You know what I love about this book? I don't have to buy any more issues of this title.
Not really.
Ever.
I think it served its purpose for me. But you and I were talking. It reminds me in a way you were with the Eddie Brock Carnage thing, where it's like I want to hate this, but I enjoy it more than I should because that actually has an interesting story. And in this book, it's not so much that it's an interesting story. It's a basic, easy enough to follow story that you could read it. But man, does this reek of
cash grab?
And this is a book for normies. So let's run down. Let's waste. This is 22 pages, by the way. Let's waste like 3 pages
on exposition,
reminding you that Venom and Spider-Man are tied together. Hey, buddy. If Venom was a Spider-Man villain, Venom has always been tied to Spider-Man intrinsically. That's kind of the point of the whole character, guys.
Do we have to really review the issue at all after that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We spent I love it in a way.
It's fun.
Like if I had never read a Spider-Man comic or a Venom comic, this would be a great recap for me. But it's also like
I found the null stuff was helpful for me because it caught me up over the last 20 years.
I think there is
so.
some examples of exposition in this book that are
some of it is
that
necessary.
are kind of okay because after the null King in Black shit, I could not tell you what the fuck Al Ewing is doing with Mary Jane being Venom and all that
who the fuck knows?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I can't lie to you and not say that I didn't geek out at the 2-page splash of these two fighting each other because it's the Venom fighting Spider-Man. I'm always gonna pop for that. That's the cool shit.
I was gonna chub up for that.
Always. But the whole gimmick is it's black and white dialogue and Spider-Man's traditional red bordered captions saying the same thing. Peter and Eddie Brock are saying the same exact thing.
That was kind of neat.
And that was a kind of neat motif.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's like we got 3 pages of that backstory to get to Spider-Man dropping in on a villain, and he's like, hey, I already told the
Miles Morales is already there.
I already talked to the other Spider-Man guy. And Spider-Man goes, I should have coordinated this with Miles.
Yeah.
And then guess who else is there? Silk, because we're in New Jersey.
I like
and then
Silk. That's a
Spider-Man
cool character.
does make a comment being like, wow, I guess I really don't need to do this as much because you guys are around.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, that kind of sucks. And he's like, no, I mean that in a good way because that means I can actually live a life pretty much, And then
he disappears and he's kidnapped and taken off to. Do we have to really review the whole thing?
No, I know we're not. But can I just say I will give this book props when it made me laugh. He disappears in this blue flash, and Silk says it's probably bad how desensitized I am to people vanishing from existence into a swirl of cosmic energy.
Yeah.
And then Miles just goes,
Yeah.
Good joke.
Yeah.
Good joke.
I did like that.
Oh, okay. So we land on this weird plane of existence. We don't know where it is. So we get the Spider-Man variants for this Spider-Verse versus Venomverse team up.
It's two cosmic entities fighting for control. And the only way that we can. What?
I want to talk about the fucking spider characters.
Oh, of course. Let's
Venom
introduce
characters.
all of them.
Yeah. So they all show up on 2 pages apiece, which I do appreciate. I love the styling.
Look, I love these kind of books. Don't get me wrong.
I want to be clear.
Yeah. I just don't need to read the next issue.
I have no interest in reading any more of this. Yeah. I thought it
gave me everything I wanted.
It was a fun enough book.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. It's bullshit. It was entertaining.
Here's some Spider-Ham. Awesome.
All right. So anyway, yeah. Here's the no. Just because the team makes me laugh. So the teams are Spider-Man from Earth 616, the Spider-Man we all know, Peter Parker.
Yep.
The Spider Prowler, which is the new thing that happened with that Beyond the Spider-Verse, where it's like, oh, what if Miles was the Prowler?
Yeah.
Recluse, which is Zion Riley, which I'm assuming is a Ben Riley kid. Like, she's Ben Riley's kid or some shit. She's tied to Ben Riley in some way. Spider-Ham, and then the most atrocious one of the team, Weapon 8, because it's V111, I think. Yeah, Weapon 8.
Well, yeah, because 8 legs.
Oh, my God. I just noticed that, too. Oh, I hate it so much. So it's a Cyclops Wolverine Spider-Man variant because what, goddamn it, Marvel cannot help itself.
And you know he's got adamantium bones and a healing factor. Because he was in the Weapon X.
But why does he have spider power? Who cares? Who cares?
Shut up.
But then you know what? I'm going to take it all back because then when I go into the next page, I look at the Venom variants. I'm like, that's kind of fucking cool. And I look at it, and first off, we get Anne as Agent Venom.
Right.
Instead of Flash Thompson. And then I made a joke because I took a picture of this panel and I sent it to my friend. And I'm like, I swear to God, I don't work at Marvel. Because I've been playing Marvel Rivals and I play as Thor and Venom a lot. Mm-hmm. And this is like, ooh, a Thor variant. The Viking Venom?
I don't know if it's a Thor Venom.
Well, it's going for that like Norse.
Yeah, but
variant.
I think it's just a Viking. I think a Thor, a Venomized Thor would be cool as fuck.
You were talking about this. You and I were talking about this. So they're like, okay, so we got Anne as Agent Venom. We've got Spider Clan Venom, which I think is like a riff on like Drax the Destroyer. Is what I'm kind of taking from it. And then we have Eddie Brock Venom, but not from 616. They make that distinction early.
It's a different one.
Because each character has each Earth they're from. And but the thing that I love about this, so I want to get to what it's the same thing I talked.
No, it's like a Japanese. I don't know what the hell Spider Clan Venom is.
Oh, whatever. I just thought it kind of looked like.
No, he's just.
Yeah, let me see.
He's just a Japanese like.
I thought they were going for like Drax the Destroyer,
No.
but anyway. So
really
then the next 2 pages after we're introduced to these teams is this 2 pages of exposition. And look, I read books. I read a lot of things. I don't mind reading. But even me, when I'm looking at a comic book and I see that much word bubbling in 2 pages, so much exposition that it spans across both pages like I'm reading it as a book, makes me be like, oh, we are in trouble.
Honestly, can I just say one thing? Go back 1 page. So we got the page, and on each page we got the Spider-Man dudes and a mini exposition of who they are, and then on the next one we got the Venom ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, close the book. I'm done with it. I don't need any fucking more, because you know what? The fight scenes aren't that great.
So
that's literally all I need from that book. You can.
No, but this I just want to riff on this next part specifically because it reminds me of what we saw earlier with the 3 pages of exposition to just get us here. But then
get a room.
But then it reminds me of that Helverine book where we've got to take all this page real estate to set up this absolutely stupid fucking plot.
Bonkers,
I'm sorry. This is the image I'm looking at, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't have a stroke.
So the whole consensus of this fight. Because you know what else? Can I just say this about this issue? This could be summed up with, it's not that deep.
Nope.
Spider-Man and Venom is not that deep. It's not that deep. It's a scorned suit. That's all it is. But the fact that we go to the levels of creating this thing called the heart web and the hive mind. And what does it look like?
Christ,
it's a thing that looks like a human heart made out of webs and a brain that's made out of fucking symbiote goop.
So the spider gods are warring with the symbiote gods.
So they're saying, like, we're going to take these multiverse spider characters and these multiverse symbiote characters, and we're going to...
I wish you could see me right now, because I'm pantomiming just jerking off 18 of my own dicks.
And we're going to play Fortnite, where we
look at all the dicks!
We're going to play a video game, essentially, where we have to get to these fucking pillars that are these checkpoints.
Yes!
And then, by the way, it's winner take all.
Oh, you're going to die.
If the Venom team wins, all the spider characters are wiped from Marvel
canon. Like, that'll happen ever.
Yeah, neither of this... That's never going to happen.
Yeah, no. Maybe for a month. Right? I could see him doing it for like a month. But guess what? The solicitations have already been out for 6 months for the next month, so you already know that the spider characters... That's why you can't really fucking... There's no real surprises anymore. Nothing new under the sun. And to me, the book is hot garbage. It's
Oh, I love it for
it's
how bad it is.
it is what it is, and I got what I wanted from it, and yippity skippity, and I don't need to read anymore.
And then here's one of my favorite parts of the book as we wrap this up because we got to talk about the other one. But
We got time.
he goes, "Fine, don't let me get away. Is that you, Eddie?" "Yes, but not the one you know." "Yeah. How can you be sure? Because on my world, we killed you, Peter."
And he's sinister.
So then Pat, yeah, he's got like the traditional Venom smile on his fucking face. So
Not
Spider-Man
friendly.
goes, "So it's like that, huh?" And he goes like, "No, and he just starts to fight Venom, and Venom's like, "No, wait, no, it was an admission. I was trying to say that like I'm guilty. I feel bad about it. I feel guilty." And it's like, then say it differently, dude. Like, of course he hits you because he's like, "Yeah, because on my world, we fucking killed you."
The part where Spider-Ham, he gets clocked in the head, and then he shows up again, and somebody's like, "What?" And he's like, "Just let's just say like injuries don't work the same for me," because like his head is still like split in two. It's really funny. But other than that, I mean, dude,
you know what else I thought?
What?
Viking Venom was the coolest looking dude. And
So
in my
of
head,
course,
I was reading. I'm like, it's the first issue of a crossover. He's the coolest looking one. He's gonna get punked first. So he shows up and he goes to fight Weapon 8. I hate this book. So he goes to fight Weapon 8 and he stabs him. And he's like, "You can't hurt me with Venom. We are Venom." Because we gotta get that fucking line in. And he goes, "You don't understand. It's not Venom. It's fucking napalm." And he lights this Venom up and burns him. And and Spider-Ham, who's already healed from his head injury at this point, just was like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "What are you upset about, pig? I pressed our advantage. The spiders are winning the war." Also, his eyes have multiple eyes on the fucking thing like he's a spider.
hot garbage.
Am I supposed to give a shit about a character that you just introduced in this book and brutally murdered at all?
Let's not forget that the Venom team is basically
Thor Venom?
No, it's Eddie Brock, it's Anne Wang, Agent Venom, some random
Thor variant
like
type
a Viking Thor, or a Viking Venom, which is not necessarily Thor. Then a
evoking
Japanese
him.
Shogun type guy, which who the fuck is that? And then a dude in a suit who takes off like right away.
Yeah, who's that dude? He's like, "I'm not gonna fight."
Hey, you know what, writer of Spider-Verse versus Venomverse? I don't care that much to read issue 2 and find out what the big secret is.
So next week,
Should have given me more in the first one. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.